Welcome to the 2022 Defense Acquisition Workforce Award Ceremony. Thank you to all of our distinguished guests, award winners, friends, and family for watching our virtual ceremony. We are privileged to have Dr. William LaPlante, Undersecretary of Defense for Acquisition and Sustainment, as our host of the ceremony. Admiral Christopher Grady, Vice Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and the Service and Component Acquisition Executives speak at our pre-recorded ceremony. I am Scott Bauer, Director of Acquisition Human Capital Initiatives at the Defense Acquisition University, and will serve as the narrator for today's proceedings. Please join me in welcoming Dr. LaPlante to present opening remarks.
Thank you, and again, welcome to our virtual ceremony. I am honored to recognize the remarkable achievements of this year's award winners, who exemplify what it means to build enduring advantages across all facets of the defense acquisition enterprise. Over the last year, our defense acquisition professionals have worked tirelessly to support the national defense strategy and deliver integrated capability to our warfighters, our allies, and partners quickly and at scale. Whether providing critical security assistance to the Ukrainian armed forces, continuing the fight against COVID-19 at home as well as abroad, or rolling out next-generation warfighting systems and platforms, our dedicated military and civilian workforces across the department continue developing, fielding, and sustaining the technologies that ensure our national and economic security. From building a team at the Space Development Agency that led risk reduction demonstrations, bringing the requisite agility, price control, and speed essential to the timely award of over $2.1 billion for future space capability, to managing more than $65 billion in funding for contracts in support of President Biden's COVID-19 response efforts, developing and producing more than 1 billion doses of vaccines and 19 million therapeutic doses, to implementing myriad of innovative, fast, and flexible contracting strategies in a contract portfolio valued at over $1.4 billion for the Space Force, which was recognized by a new award this year, the Individual Achievement Award for Flexibility in Contracting. This year's award winners represent the highest tier of acquisition expertise, innovation, and dedication to supporting our warfighters. I'd also like to thank several organizations who have orchestrated this virtual ceremony. It takes an enormous effort of work to pull this event together, and I would like to express my gratitude for our ANS Human Capital Initiatives team, DAU's Video Services and Protocol teams, and the Air Force Film Studio. So it is with great pride that we recognize the outstanding achievements of our defense acquisition professionals. Thank you for all that you do to support this incredible mission. Congratulations to our winners on a job well done.
Thank you, Dr. LaPlante. We now have congratulatory remarks from the winners' service and component acquisition executives.
Congratulations to all the 2022 Defense Acquisition Workforce honorees. Here at DARPA, we know our technology innovation is possible only because of the outstanding innovation of our contracting team. This year's honorees are proof that the department is ever committed to keeping our military personnel and all of our citizens safe. Your creativity helps solve our hardest problems, and your efforts have a lasting impact on contracting and all of DoD, ensuring that we meet our mission time and time again.
On behalf of our director, Vice Admiral John Hill, and the men and women of the Missile Defense Agency, we extend our sincere congratulations to all the individuals and teams who were nominated and selected for the prestigious DoD Acquisition Workforce Achievement Awards. As members of the acquisition workforce, we are charged with providing our warfighters the best equipment, systems, and platforms so the United States remains a technologically superior force over our adversaries.
These awards highlight your contributions to the National Defense Strategy and our DoD goals of integrating deterrence, campaigning, and building enduring advantages. Through your experience, creativity, and teamwork, you've affirmed that our workforce is tremendously qualified to provide warfighters with the means to respond to our nation's most pressing challenges. Thank you for your leadership and all you've accomplished this year. We look forward to more great accomplishments from you in the future.
It is an awesome set of defense acquisition workforce that we have here in the services and the agencies, all around the globe, supporting our activities worldwide as we compete on a global scale. Thanks again to all of you for all that you do every day for our service members and our civilians as they are around the world supporting our nation.
Your combined efforts help DoD achieve this goal and contribute to the defense of our nation. As one of the 187,000 members of the acquisition workforce, thank you for showcasing excellence in our field. Again, congratulations.
You all represent the best of our talented 21st century acquisition corps, leading the acquisition solutions for today and addressing the complex challenges of the future. Your acquisition acumen and creativity ensures our military strategic readiness in the face of pacing threats and other national security competition.
This year's award winners inspire all of us as real examples of the incredible contributions by our talented and dedicated professionals in the acquisition workforce.
You know, words like innovation and disruption, they get a lot of press, and that's well deserved. Those are great words, but they're not end states. The end state is to put capability into operators' hands, and you all have excelled at that. I want to thank you for your leadership. I want to thank you for your critical thinking skills, for your competence, and above all else, your courage in the acquisition battle space. Well done.
Established in 2019, the Defense Acquisition Workforce Individual Achievement Awards recognize those individuals who demonstrate the highest levels of excellence and professionalism in the acquisition of products and services, those who support the warfighter, defend the nation, and protect the taxpayer. At this time, Admiral Grady will provide his remarks on the significance of the Requirements Management Award.
To the Honorable Dr. William LaPlante, thank you for the invitation to be part of this virtual ceremony. This is the 9th year that we honor a member of the requirements management community alongside our department's acquisition professionals. As the Vice Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, one of my most important duties is to chair the Joint Requirements Oversight Council. Leaders from across the Department of Defense work with the JROC to collaborate with our resourcing and acquisition professionals and innovate across all domains to shape our future joint military force. As we have seen in our national security strategy and national defense strategy, we are urgently sustaining and strengthening our military deterrence options against the People's Republic of China as our pacing challenge and Russia as an urgent threat. It is critical in today's environment we get it right as we compete, deter, and win when called upon to defend our nation, our allies and partners, and the rules-based international order. Through your work, the Joint Force is able to field material solutions that, when employed in accordance with our joint warfighting concept, equip a more lethal, resilient, interoperable, sustainable, agile, and responsive joint warfighting force. So thank you for the work that you do. The men and women of our workforce are truly the center of the universe. And now let's recognize one of our own for their superb achievements.
Today's first Individual Achievement Award recognizes significant contributions in requirements management. The recipient is Mr. Victor Steinman, Air Warfare Requirements Coordinator from the Department of the Navy. Mr. Steinman exponentially improved requirements processes and training for more than 80 requirements personnel in supporting an air warfare $40 billion portfolio. Mr. Steinman's contributions and vision directly supported warfighting needs by obtaining the right capabilities for naval aviation in reduced time and with the most cost-effective solutions. Thank you, Admiral Grady. We appreciate your time. Dr. LaPlante will now recognize the remainder of the awardees. Our next Individual Achievement Award recognizes excellence in acquisition in an expeditionary environment. The recipient is
Major Timothy Kilty of the U.S. Army.
Major Timothy Kilty of the U.S. Army's Sentinel Product Office distinguished himself by building and leading a multidisciplinary expeditionary team to prepare for the North Atlantic Treaty Organization contingencies and directly support the presidential drawdown. He led his team with professionalism and unwavering commitment, significantly contributing to the successful completion of multiple simultaneous DoD missions.
Your superior leadership directly influenced successful acquisition of critical systems that aid in force protection for the high-end fight and reflects greatly upon the department.
We will now present the Individual Achievement Award for Auditing. The recipient is
Ms. Elaine Riley of the Defense Contract Audit Agency.
Ms. Riley of the Defense Contract Audit Agency is recognized for her unwavering commitment to developing a workforce that supports the warfighter and protects taxpayer dollars. Ms. Riley leads by example and has set a high standard of excellence that elevates the performance of others.
Your significant contributions to the department's missions demonstrate excellence and professionalism in the acquisition of necessary products and services for the warfighter, while remaining a conscientious steward of our taxpayer dollars.
We now recognize the Individual Achievement Award for Contracting and Procurement. The recipient is
Mr. Christopher Glista of the Space Development Agency.
As the inaugural member of the Space Development Agency Contract Cell, Mr. Glista built a contracting organization that contracted more than $2 billion during the award period. He demonstrated a comprehensive understanding of the process to integrate a new defense agency across a myriad of systems required to execute contract activities in the DoD. Among his many contributions, Mr. Glista served as lead acquisition advisor as his organization made complex Tranche 1 awards. The space vehicles to be delivered under Tranche 1 transport layer came at an average price of $14 million per satellite, significantly lower than legacy programs' average costs.
Congratulations on rapidly standing up a successful contracting organization from the ground up while lowering costs and delivering increased capability in an important warfighting domain.
Our next Individual Achievement Award recognizes excellence in cost estimating. The recipient is
Ms. Stephanie Quintel of the U.S. Air Force.
As Deputy Cost Chief of the U.S. Air Force's Material Command and Lifecycle Management Center, Detachment 12, Ms. Quintel played an integral role of continued organization of requirements and subsequent resourcing for the Air Force's first organic software acquisitions operations unit. Ms. Quintel shared best methodologies for agile cost estimating and revamped the way that the cost community conducts cost estimating in a software development environment.
Ms. Quintel is a true pathfinder for the cost community and an asset to the department, demonstrating her leadership and elevating the skills of her team.
We will now present the Individual Achievement Award for Earned Value Management. The recipient is
Mr. Brandon Hutchinson of the United States Air Force.
Mr. Hutchinson of the U.S. Air Force's Material Command and Lifecycle Management Center tirelessly supported the Boom Telescoping Actuator Retrofit Integrated Baseline Review. Through weeks of sustained document submittals and resubmittals from the contractor, he meticulously maintained configuration control and updated programmatic summary level data. Mr. Hutchinson's efforts helped to ensure the contractor accurately reported cost for this congressional high visibility program.
The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Mr. Hutchinson and his attention to detail bring credit to himself and the United States Air Force.
We now recognize the Individual Achievement Award for Engineering. The recipient is
Mr. Matthew Guernsey of the Department of the Navy.
Mr. Guernsey's dedication and service to the U.S. Department of the Navy's Airborne Strategic Command, Control and Communications Program Office, and warfighters was critical to advancing the mission and delivering critical capability to the fleet. Embodying the take charge and move out spirit, he proactively took the lead, creating an EXX Capabilities Development document, working directly with the Chief of Naval Operations and the Joint Staff to gain approval for this critical element of the EXX program in record time.
Mr. Guernsey's exceptional professionalism, leadership, and loyal devotion to duty were in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Naval Service.
Our next Individual Achievement Award recognizes excellence in facilities engineering. The recipient is
Mr. Jeffrey Alford of the Missile Defense Agency.
Mr. Alford of the Missile Defense Agency served as the Military Construction Facilities Project Manager for the Long Range Discrimination Radar and the United Kingdom Radar. His specific accomplishments include fast-tracking facilities designs and delivering facilities ahead of schedule despite significant challenges due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The value of these accomplishments equates to $7 million in savings to the U.S. government. His expert management of designs helped lay the foundation for keeping vital missile defense projects on time and on target.
Mr. Alford's contributions under difficult circumstances led to exceptional delivery on cost, schedule, and performance for critical systems that increase the survivability of the Joint Force.
We will now present the Individual Achievement Award for Financial Management. The recipient is
Ms. Kathleen Single of the U.S. Army.
Ms. Single of the U.S. Army Joint Program Executive Office coordinated with Army Contracting Command and the Department of Health and Human Services financial teams to ensure funding was transferred and efficiently and appropriately allocated in support of dynamic requirements and short timelines. She managed more than $65 billion in funding for contracts in support of President Biden's COVID-19 response effort. In support of the President's test effort and to help further develop domestic diagnostic and testing production facilities through 20 contracts, her team developed and produced more than 1 billion doses of COVID-19 vaccines, 19 million therapeutic doses, more than 2 billion needles and syringes, and more than 890 million over-the-counter COVID-19 rapid tests. She maintained the highest standards of integrity and moral character for herself and the soldiers, officers, and DoD civilian personnel she served.
Your tireless work to bring these hugely important vaccines, therapeutic doses, and rapid tests to millions of people during the pandemic reflects great credit on yourself and is keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Army.
We now recognize the Individual Achievement Award for Information Technology. The recipient is
Mr. Ryan Silvanek of the United States Air Force.
Mr. Silvanek of the U.S. Air Force's Materiel Command and Lifecycle Management Center Detachment 12 drove the first ever Air Force portfolio software acquisition pathway strategy and the first Air Force validated capability needs statement for the Air and Space Operations Center under the Software Pathways Authority, which encompassed 5 pathways in support of $1.2 billion in capabilities. Additionally, he oversaw the Kessel Run All-Domain Operations Suite support to the 609th Air and Space Operations Center's successful airlift of 123,000 Afghan evacuees in support of Operation Allies Refuge.
Mr. Silvanek demonstrated the critical importance of new software and capabilities to successful military operations, and his actions contributed greatly to one of the most important operations during the withdrawal from Afghanistan.
Our next Individual Achievement Award recognizes excellence in international partnership. The recipient is
Mr. Joshua Grubb of the United States Air Force.
Mr. Grubb of the U.S. Air Force 374th Contracting Squadron is responsible for a 14-member team that manages a joint $7 billion international contract portfolio, including several high-visibility requirements. He has provided critical COVID-19 response actions and runs a highly regarded contracting officer warrant preparation class. He has forged numerous mission partner engagements and recently created a relationship with the U.S. Space Force. Mr. Grubb is a respected advisor to the U.S. Forces Japan leadership on a variety of acquisition topics.
A critical component of integrated deterrence is close collaboration with our allies and partners and amongst the services as well. Individuals like Mr. Grubb help to maintain and forge the relationships that will make these initiatives successful.
We will now present the Individual Achievement Award for Lifecycle Logistics. The recipient is
Mr. Jason Teague of the United States Special Operations Command.
Mr. Teague has demonstrated professional competence and exemplary leadership and continuously challenges the status quo, solves problems unconventionally, cuts through the red tape to help expedite processes, and takes an independent stand to constructively point out impediments to progress and offers viable solutions. His leadership has been essential to deliver combat capabilities for major acquisition Category 2 programs to include the MC-130J, AC-130W, and AC-130J, aircraft valued at more than $8 billion.
Mr. Teague is a standout in the acquisition logistics community and clearly keeping U.S. SOCOM at the forefront, ready to accomplish any mission.
We now recognize the Individual Achievement Award for Production, Quality, and Manufacturing. The recipient is
Mr. Ronald Bonaducci of the Defense Contract Management Agency.
Mr. Bonaducci is a proven leader and vital asset at the Defense Contract Management Agency, Aircraft Propulsion Operations, Pratt & Whitney. As a team lead and quality assurance specialist, he implemented numerous innovative techniques that proved to be instrumental in creating an efficient method to deliver quality product without compromising component integrity, while also continuing to generate cost savings. One of those efforts saved the government more than $35 million in assets that were once destined to be considered scrap components.
Mr. Bonaducci's hard work and dedication have established him to be an incredible asset to DCMA, to our warfighters, and to the Department of Defense.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant General Dave Bassett, the Director of the Defense Contract Management Agency. I'd like to congratulate Mr. Ron Bonaducci from our East Hartford, Connecticut office for his selection in production, quality, and manufacturing. Quality, manufacturing are at the heart of what DCMA does, and we could not be more proud of your selection. Thanks for everything you do, and we could not be more proud of you.
Our next Individual Achievement Award recognizes excellence in program management. The recipient is
Miss Jacqueline Blevins of the United States Air Force.
As a program manager for the U.S. Air Force's Materiel Command and Air Force Lifecycle Management Center, Ms. Blevins oversaw a $2.6 billion acquisition program to deliver the Air Force's premier electromagnetic attack aircraft, the EC-37B Compass Call. She guided a 400-member government and industry team in the completion of several achievements, including the first flight of an aircraft configured for mission system installation. Her leadership was instrumental to increasing the aircraft service ceiling to 45,000 feet at minimal cost to the government, resulting in more standoff range. Additionally, Ms. Blevins expedited the initiation of work on 2 contracts worth more than $368 million to launch the development, production, and modification of an upgraded Baseline 4 EC-37B aircraft that provides 3 times more target coverage.
Successful collaboration between the department and the Defense Industrial Base is a critical pillar of building enduring advantages. It is how we can best deliver the systems and capabilities our warfighters depend upon. Great work.
We will now present the Individual Achievement Award for Science and Technology Manager. The recipient is
Mr. Brian Sisko of the United States Special Forces Operation Command.
Mr. Sisko has created an exciting, vibrant, and productive culture of collaboration and innovation in his leadership of the Futures team. He conducted Innovation Foundry events and took the program to new boundaries by conceptualizing and conducting follow-on events such as a prize challenge, technology sprints, and rapid capability assessments, leading to a capstone technology demonstration using outputs from the Foundry events. The Futures methodology has increased the level of effort and sophistication of transition data and prototypes by adding in rapid capability assessments and tech sprints to the Foundry cycle.
Your ingenuity and innovation in the acquisition field have created a benchmark for the success of the Futures team and has demonstrated the ability to deliver integrated capabilities at both speed and scale.
We now recognize the Individual Achievement Award for Services Acquisition. The recipient is
Mr. Robert McClintock of the U.S. Special Operations Command.
Mr. McClintock expertly led the $150 million source selection from acquisition strategy to successful post-award task order management, while simultaneously developing a classified contract strategy, solicitation, and chairing the source selection team's evaluation for the $485 million classified effort in support of the U.S. SOCOM J3 mission support area. Mr. McClintock incorporated the U.S. SOCOM service imperatives of mission stability, management agility, and global reach into all of the service acquisition efforts assigned.
Your exceptional performance while managing 4 simultaneously service source selections epitomizes the ethos, trusted expert, and reflects an adaptive, mission-first aptitude towards acquisitions.
Our next Individual Achievement Award recognizes excellence in small business. The recipient is
Lieutenant Colonel Christopher Genlin of the United States Air Force.
Lieutenant Colonel Genlin of the Department of the Air Force Rapid Capabilities Office led a small business innovation research-based $95 million acquisition Category 3 equivalent development program to fast-track the development of a next-generation air-launched autonomous swarming small unmanned aerial system. He teamed with multiple offices within the Air Force Research Laboratory to leverage existing contracts and advocate for an additional contract. By advocating for small businesses and the innovation research process, Lieutenant Colonel Genlin ultimately connected a variety of government agencies, academia, federally funded research centers, and 4 small businesses into a team of over 150 members across the United States to advance the state-of-the-art in small, unmanned aircraft systems.
Collaboration is the key to integrated deterrence, and your skillful management of a blended team led to ideal outcomes. Leveraging the ingenuity of our small businesses and integrating them into the wider defense industrial base helps us to build enduring advantages and enhance our resilience.
We will now present the Individual Achievement Award for Software. The recipient is
Mr. Robert Sonnenfeld of the United States Space Force.
Major Sonnenfeld of the U.S. Space Force, Department of the Air Force Rapid Capabilities Office, expertly managed a $280 million, highly classified command and control program, and led a team of 155 members responsible for developing first-of-a-kind space capabilities to close top gaps in the national security space architecture. He led an agile development overhaul and instituted best practices that improved software development by 60% and put a $700 million mission back on track after significant technical challenges. Major Sonnenfeld's efforts prepared a new squadron for mission operations 1 year early, positioned the United States Space Force to completely transform military space operations, laid the groundwork for a $25 billion space enterprise, and shaped policy discussions with the National Security Council and President of the United States.
Your innovative employment of the software development cycle was key to remedying critical technical challenges and places the U.S. Space Force in an enhanced position to support the national defense.
The last Individual Achievement Award recognizes significant contributions in test and evaluation. The recipient is
Mr. Brian Smoz of the Department of the Navy.
Mr. Smoz of the Department of the Navy, Naval Sea System Command PEO ships, has demonstrated exceptional professionalism as the DDG 1000 Chief Developmental Tester. He led the program's nationwide government and industry laboratory and waterfront teams through a rigorous, complex, comprehensive, and successful temp testing program. With a $50 million budget, he brought to the fleet a technologically advanced and game-changing platform with capability that has raised the bar in both power and deterrence projection for our nation's defense. He is a decisive and empowering chief developmental tester, integrated test team leader, coach, and mentor to young testers and engineers involved in the effort.
The DDG 1000 team is successful because of leaders like you, who share your testing expertise and understand the importance of mentoring and developing the acquisition workforce.
Next, we will present the Flexibility in Contracting Award. The award recognizes outstanding professionals for their innovative and adaptive use of flexibilities and authorities granted by the Federal Acquisition Regulation and the Department of Defense Instruction 5000.02 to increase the efficiency of programs. This is the first year we are presenting an award to an individual for their contributions in flexibility in contracting. The inaugural winner is
Ms. Veronica Reynosa of the United States Space Force.
Veronica Reynosa manages a contract portfolio valued at $1.4 billion for the Space Systems Command, Battle Management Communication, Command and Control PEO portfolio. She developed, coordinated, and implemented a myriad of innovative, fast, and flexible contracting strategies and tactics, and effectively led her team to achieve remarkable accomplishments.
Ms. Reynosa epitomizes the definitions of creativity, initiative, and leadership, and demonstrated exceptional innovation in the use of the authorities provided under the FAR as well as DoD 5000.02.
The Flexibility in Contracting Team Award goes to
the Department of the Navy PMA 226 Specialized and Proven Aircraft F5 Advisory Integrated Program Team. Accepting the award is Mr. Boyd Forsyth.
The PMA 226 F5 Adversary Aircraft Team utilized a new and novel strategy to completely modernize Navy and Marine Corps F5 aircraft. The team combined an other transaction authority contracting approach to leverage existing and proven commercial technology with an unprecedented 3-month test program featuring combined fleet and industry operators in an op-check manner. This effort resulted in delivery of a fully modernized tactical aircraft in less than 3 years. The team's approach reduced the cost by 78% and cycle time by 68%, while addressing the top 5 Navy and Marine Corps adversary priorities, along with safety improvements found in previous F5 mishaps. This F5 upgrade program has laid the foundation for modern adversary capability through the 2040s at minimal cost and schedule, both protecting air crews and ensuring decades of naval aviators are highly trained and capable in defeating air-to-air threats.
This team's innovative approach will ensure our naval aviators and their air crews have the modern tools and tactics they need for a generation.
And here is the rest of the team. Now it is time to present the Software Innovation Team Award. Software is a critical element in all of our major platform and weapons systems. This award recognizes teams who are driving speed, innovation, and the use of best practices in software development and software acquisition. The Software Innovation Team Award goes to
the U.S. Air Force RCO B-21 Software Factory. Accepting the award is Team Lead Lieutenant Colonel Michael Tanner.
The team managed and delivered a $1.4 billion classified software and digital infrastructure portfolio during the award year. This includes manpower, hardware, software system integration laboratories, and software development, integration, and test activities for the $80 billion B-21 Raider program and the Advanced Battle Management System. The team led 721 government, civilian, and contractor members to synchronize all software activities across 5 branches and 12 integrated product teams at 5 operating locations. The team innovated by partnering with 2 Fortune 100 companies and 43 key technical team contributors to deliver the first ever Special Access Program cloud mission planning environment.
A modern approach to software development is a critical part of success in modern acquisition programs. Leveraging the flexibility of the software acquisition pathway enabled this team's success, and I commend them. Each team's contributions reflect great credit upon themselves and the Department of the Air Force.
And here is the rest of the team. We will now present the Defense Acquisition Workforce Development Innovation Awards. These awards recognize talent management excellence and innovation by acquisition organizations to ensure their workforce is ready and equipped to deliver world-class capabilities to the warfighter. We will begin the Workforce Development Innovation Award in the category of large organization. This year's winner is
the Department of the Navy Naval Air Systems Command Procurement Group Entry-Level Cohort Group. Accepting the award is team lead Ms. Lori Frame.
The team developed, refined, and deployed a training program for newly hired contract specialists called the Entry-Level Employee Cohort. The cohort concept revolutionized onboarding, training, and development, and was instrumental in NAVAIR achieving its mission to deliver integrated warfighting capability through increases in affordability, availability, and capability. This comprehensive training program starts before an employee is onboarded, carries through a 30-month development period, and provides a hands-on, dedicated focus to produce a contract specialist fully capable of executing the most complex major weapon systems contracts.
With the development, refinement, and deployment of this concept, the team exemplifies talent management, excellence, and innovation. Training the acquisition workforce is a critical pillar of building enduring advantages for our military. The employees you develop today become the leaders of tomorrow.
And here is the rest of the team. We will now recognize the Workforce Development Innovation Award in the category of Small Organization. This year's winner is
the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, Contracts Management Office. Accepting the award is team lead Ms. Effie Frago-Giannis, Director, DARPA Contracts Management Office.
The team's other transactions, training, and mentorship innovation addressed a critical skill gap within the agency and the DoD acquisition community. CMO trained DoD organizations and the private sector to leverage a combination of innovative acquisition instruments to attract traditional and non-traditional contractors. During the pandemic, CMO taught the course virtually, enabling more participants to attend. The OT training program provided best practices and used critical thinking skills to determine the best business solution for a given procurement problem.
The team's training program provided a vital workforce development initiative and enhanced the success of DARPA, DoD agencies, and the private sector, and the greatest acquisition community for years to come.
And here is the rest of the team. In the final portion of this ceremony, we will recognize the David Packard Excellence in Acquisition Award winners. The David Packard Excellence in Acquisition Award was established to recognize organizations, groups, and teams who have demonstrated exemplary innovation using best acquisition practices that achieve acquisition excellence in the Department of Defense. This year's winners are
the first winning team is the U.S. Army Next Generation Squad Weapons Team. Accepting the award is Team Lead, Lieutenant Colonel Joshua Headley.
This team structured an innovative selection and contracting approach to identify and deliver the next generation squad weapon rifle, automatic rifle, and 6.8 millimeter family of ammunition, subject matter expertise from Product Manager Next Generation Weapons, Product Manager Small Caliber Ammunition, DevCom Armament Center, the Soldier Lethality Cross-Functional Team, and Army Contracting Command, New Jersey, was instrumental in developing a streamlined prototyping and down-select approach, while setting the conditions to quickly produce in field the newest small arms weapons and concurrently establishing the required stock of the new 6.8 millimeter ammunition.
The achievements of the Next Generation Squad Weapons Team are a big win for Assistant Secretary of the Army, Acquisition, Logistics, and Technology, and the Army writ large. The team demonstrated effective use of the adaptive acquisition framework and innovative usage of the various authorities and vehicles available to them, and brought an important new capability to the Army Close Combat Forces.
And here is the rest of the team. The next team to receive the David Packard Excellence in Acquisition Award is
the Department of the Navy's LHA-7 Post-Delivery Team. Accepting the award on the team's behalf is Captain Joshua Fields.
The team successfully executed a complex 24-month, $123 million post-delivery effort, displaying exemplary innovation in their management of pandemic safety protocols and leveraging available resources. The team was proactive and collaborative in developing a multi-tiered overlapping work, training, testing, and certification schedule. The team used a get real, get better approach, continually planning, monitoring, and adjusting execution to meet the accelerated deployment schedule for the LHA-7.
The team successfully navigated all challenges, maintained schedule, and completed all required work, allowing LHA-7 to be transferred to the fleet as the most capable large-deck amphibious ship ever put to sea. Congratulations on a job well done.
And here is the rest of the team. The next team to receive the David Packard Excellence in Acquisition Award is
the U.S. Air Force BLU-111 ECP Program Office. Accepting the award on the team's behalf is Major Jim Graves.
The Air Force Requirements Oversight Council approved a Pacific Command Urgent Operational Need for 2,500 500-pound penetrator bombs to prosecute targets weaponeered with 2,000-pound bombs, maximizing sortie effectiveness through increased loadout and reduced pilot exposure to the enemy. The team's acquisition foresight led them to slash 1 year off the schedule as they closed the urgent operational need and transitioned to a program of record via Milestone C in one acquisition action.
The distinctive accomplishments of the System Program Office reflect great credit upon the United States Air Force. Their hard work enabled a new integrated capability to be delivered at the point of need and at the speed of relevance.
And here is the rest of the team. The next team to receive the David Packard Excellence in Acquisition Award is
the U.S. Special Operations Command Forces Combat Diving Program. Accepting the award on the team's behalf is Mr. James Knudsen.
This team of 2 military and 8 civilian personnel creatively led cutting-edge prototyping across 5 distinct diver technology areas of environmental protection, navigation, propulsion, communications, and life support. Their passion and exceptional professional drive created an amazing level of productivity to build an exemplary program of record compliant with acquisition policy and aligned to national defense imperatives to prepare for war with advanced adversaries.
This team's mission-focused and disciplined approach fostered remarkable agility and resulted in new operational concepts, as well as the creation of new tactics relevant to the high-end fight, all enabled by state-of-the-art equipment.
And here is the rest of the team. The final team to receive the David Packard Excellence in Acquisition Award is
the National Reconnaissance Office Low Earth Orbit Systems Program Office. Accepting the award on the team's behalf is Mr. Mike Sargent, Director, Low Earth Orbit Systems Program Office.
The team executed a successful integration and test campaign, culminating in the launch of the first next-generation spacecraft while overcoming significant obstacles. This new spacecraft was the largest design change since the program's initiation, taking advantage of innovative technology to meet evolving threats while focusing on affordability and yielding a more than $1 billion reduction in recurring costs. The team's efforts culminated in a 10-day spacecraft activation, 23 days faster than the baseline schedule.
The team's actions ensure this new addition to the low Earth orbit signals intelligence architecture will provide unmatched situational awareness to the intelligence community as well as the warfighter while meeting affordability challenges of the future.
And here is the rest of the team. And now we welcome Dr. LaPlante for closing remarks.
Thank you all for joining us in recognizing the best of the best across the defense acquisition workforce. Again, congratulations to this year's winners and to all of our acquisition professionals for your unwavering dedication and contributions to our warfighters, allies, and partners. Your innovation, expertise, and outstanding achievements are critical to equipping and sustaining our military, ensuring that we face the threat today and into the future. Thank you.